I'm Dud at Wraptor Customs, and you're watching the build of the ultimate summertime F-Type.
In our last episode, we installed a Project 7 style front bumper and rear diffuser. We repaired our wheels and gave them a fresh look. And installed a beautiful sunset coloured wrap on the car.
So now it's time to give the engine some more power. We're going to be applying our level 4 tuning kit known as Overboost and Chill. Now, we've noticed a bit of play in the supercharger pulley, so that has led to this supercharger is going to be removed and it's going to have a little inspection and overhaul and refitted. Whilst we're there, we're going to be replacing all these plastic pipes for metal ones. Go. So there's one original supercharger pulley removed, and we're going to be installing a performance one made of stainless steel rather than mild steel and of a different diameter, making the supercharger spin faster. And of course we've already installed our Overboost lower pulley as well. If you can see the shiny thing down there, that's also going to contribute to spinning the supercharger faster, much like the front and rear gears on a bicycle. So yeah, common fault on these 3 litre and 5 litre supercharged Jaguar Land Rover engines is play in the supercharger due to a component inside called the coupler. So if you grab the pulley that usually goes here, but we've removed that, so in this case I'm grabbing the little shaft, and there's that play, that kind of slap, and you can hear it knocking inside the supercharger. So that means we've got to remove this to replace that fouled component, and whilst we're there, that's prime time to give it a good check all over the supercharger, refresh anything that's worth refreshing, and then reinstall it. So that's what we're going to do now. Alright, let's refurb this supercharger from the now orange F-Type. So we've got the manifolds here. This is the main supercharger. We're going to change the bearings in the front here because they got wear in them. And we're going to be replacing the oil that lubricates the gears and the bearings in the back here. This thing that lives on the back is called a symposer. That's meant to guide supercharged noise into the cabin. Really, they don't do a fat lot. Yeah, don't notice any difference with it deleted, which is exactly what we're going to do to create more room in the engine bay and get rid of this horrible lump of plastic that's prone to breaking, just like that bit there. Yeah, rubbish. Get rid of that. That simple blanking delete kit. This is the snout that lives on the front of the supercharger. We're going to put a new bearing in this end, a new bearing in this end, and we're going to refurbish the shaft there that's got a load of grooves worn into it due to this thing being worn out. This is what's known as a coupler, and it joins the snout to the main supercharger here like so. It's kind of like a sprung coupler, but they become all worn and sloppy, and then they rub on that shaft and wear grooves into it. So we're going to be replacing that as well. And on the end here usually lives a pulley driven by the belt on the front of the engine, so we're going to be putting our performance pulley on there as well to go with the crankshaft performance pulley. So lots of work to do on this. Going to be 2 or 3 hours, give it a nice little refurbishment, and then that's ready to go back in the car. Well, all the repairs are done and the aesthetics are coming together nicely as well. So now we're going to carry out some level 4 tuning. We offer 4 different levels of tuning for the 3-litre supercharged engine at Wraptor. And there is a 5th in progress as well, which involves a bigger supercharger. But basically, we're going to speed this supercharger up much faster to give it more boost. We're going to install an interchiller, one of our own developed Jaguar F-Type specific kits to make the interchiller fit. And we're going to tie all this together via remapping. I'm going to start that now. So we've got battery support on because voltage is critical when it comes to ECUs. And then we're going to be reading the engine ECU using some software we have on our laptop and connecting the laptop to the vehicle via this interface. Should be a plug under here. There we go. First things first, we need to identify what ECU is on this vehicle, and then we need to take a read of the standard mapping. That will give us a thing to revert back to should there be any issues, which there isn't usually, and also it gives us a starting point. There is something I have forgotten. The key. I'll go get it. I got the magic starty thingy. Alright, let's pop that in the car. Now we should have ignition. Ta-da! Lovely. Right, first thing we're going to do is select the right vehicle. Jag. And we need a F-Type. There it is. Should all be petrol, yeah. Imagine a diesel F-Type, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Well, ECU, not transmission ECU, for the moment, thank you. And 2 variants. There's the AJ133, which is the beast of a 5-litre, and the AJ126, like this one, which we can still have some fun with. And that's exactly what we're going to do. This is a Roadster, automatic transmission. Ooh, is it an S or a non-S? In fact, I don't think it makes any difference because it's the same ECU and I'm going to be able to work with it regardless. So let's go S Roadster, fine. Go. Don't need to see the manual, I've done this loads of times before, but thank you for asking. Right, first thing, let's ID this car and see what we got. Ignition on, alright. Wait for the loading bar. This happens many times, it's quite boring. Alright, so we've got an ID of the ECU. That's just for my reference, so we can do multiple things with it in the future if need be. If I need to recover it, if I need to revert it back to standard, if I need a certain tool to speak to it, I know what we're working with. So now we're going to read what is currently on the car. Let that load. I'll be clicking away for ages, doing its thing. Yeah. Car makes some noises, slightly scary. You find lights flash, wipers go on their own. It's all scary stuff, but you get used to it after a while. There's something in the engine bay is going nuts on this one. Strange. Right, now we hurry up and wait for this to load. Still 0. Still 0. Still 0. No, still 0. I'm going to come back later. Yeah. So earlier I mentioned we do 4 and in progress 5 levels of tune for these cars. So I guess you're wondering what stage or what level involves what, right? So a level 1 would just be changing the software of the car only. So no physical changes. It's just the what's known as remapping. So we can change the timing of the car. We can request a bit more boost, a bit more fuel, and give it more power that way. And the car is restricted from factory just a standard anyway. And manufacturers these days, what they're doing is, rather than making lots of different sized engines, they're making one engine and giving it different power outputs. So the 3 litre like this comes as a 340 PS powertrain, a 380 and a 400. So this will be a 340 or 380 to start with, so we can get it to 400, in fact a little bit beyond 400. Absolutely no problem, perfectly safe. Stage 2. We need more boost. Boost, baby. What's boost? Well, basically, how to get power out your engine. You want to put more air through it as quick as possible, and of course the same ratio of fuel. The fuel and the oxygen in the air contains energy. That will give you power when it combusts inside the engine, changing that energy from, chemical energy into kinetic energy, movement, pushing them pistons up and down your engine, powering the back wheels eventually. So let's give it some more air via more boost. So we would do that by adding a upper supercharger pulley to the supercharger, and that in turn can allow us to tweak the remapping a little bit to suit as well. So with that, on the 5 litre cars it makes a massive difference. On the 3 litre cars it's not so crazy, so there's not too much difference between a level 1 and 2 tune with us on the 3 litres. So with that in mind, I would jump straight to level 3, where we don't just change the upper supercharger pulley, we change the lower supercharger pulley with it. That's going to give you noticeable more boost. And again, we can install revised remapping to accommodate that boost, to give it a bit more fuel, to use all the boost available and give you decent power. With that, we like to install some cooling system upgrades as well via a bigger charge cooler. That means all that air entering the engine, due to these different size pulleys on the supercharger, will be super cooled as well, because hot air basically is less oxygen rich. And again, as I mentioned earlier, the energy essentially comes from the oxygen in the air as well as the fuel. So we want not just loads of air, but lots of oxygen rich air, and air that is more dense, which you get from it being colder, is more oxygen rich. So level 3 is a pair of supercharger pulleys, a larger charge cooler to cool the supercharged air, and revised remapping again. That is typically good for somewhere around 450 PS. But this beast is having what is currently our top level of tune, a level 4. So what do we do that's different? Well, we install an oversized crankshaft pulley to what I would call overboost the engine, and we don't just uprate the charge cooler, we actually replace it for a chiller system that works with the aircon, so it ends up really super chilled and really boosted. So we call this level 4 kit Overboost and Chill, and again it's got revised remapping that goes with that, and we found these are good for up to 480 PS, maybe more if you've got the right fuel in it, but at the moment that's where we're at. But that was on 97 octane. I really would like to try some 99 octane, and I would really like to try some octane booster. It's probably going to go over 500. But yeah, and supercharger with that kit, it really screams as well. It's quite an exciting and almost dramatic drive. So that's what this car's having. Hopefully we'll get a shot of this screaming up the road when it's all done. So stay tuned. Alright, so the chiller system that's going to super cool the boosted supercharged air going into this engine, that chiller system works with the air conditioning. That's how it gets so cold. So to have this kit, your air conditioning needs to be working. If it doesn't, you need to get it working first. Now we've got to take some pipes and fittings off this, so I need to extract the gas using one of these, a proper aircon machine. Alright, so we're going to be attaching the machine to these service ports here. There's a valve in there, and then there's another one there. Different models, different engines, they do differ, but you hope they're somewhere accessible. And there's lots of legal obligations with this. You're not allowed to let the gas from the system out into the atmosphere because it's very harmful. The global warming potential, which is how it's measured, is really high, like 1500 or something like that. And so even if these caps with seals in are missing, legally you're not allowed to put gas back in it. How about that? one's on. That's the low pressure. And the high pressure is the red pipe. Go on there. Cool. Alright. Turned on. Classic, give me a load of warnings and don't do what you're told. But anyway, resting pressure, we're looking good, so it looks like this doesn't have any sort of leaks. Make sure they're just off for the moment, yeah. And we got to get rid of the... There we are, thank you. Got to suck out the gas and store it in the tank attached to the machine. Let's go. Definitely had gas in it, no leaks, that's good. Let's recover the gas. Press start. Yeah, oh, I've got to do a thing. I've got to do a thing with the machine. Oh, and it's carried on. Good, recovering. So it's telling me how much gas in weight it's recovering. I'm expecting that number to be somewhere close to what it should take. And what it should take legally, it should always have a visible label somewhere on the car or on the air conditioning system. It should take 700 grams plus or minus 25. So we'll see how much we actually extract out of it. Being that the pressures were good before I started, I'm expecting somewhere close to that 700 grams. How are we doing? We are 690 grams. Looking good. Okay, so we've prepared a remap for this car. Now we've got to load it onto the ECU, and then we're going to put it back on the car. Once that's back on the car, it means all the electrical system will be back together again, so we can carry on and wire up our new LED rear fog and reverse lights for our super sexy carbon fibre rear diffuser. Lots to do. Let's get on with it. Here I'm loading on one of our remaps that have been specifically developed for our tuning kits. They've been tried and tested on our own development cars, on both road driving and track driving, and also on rolling road dynos. There's lots of different remaps from us available depending on what level of tuning kit you have and what make, model and engine you have in your car. So it's important that you select the right one, and the remap I've loaded on this car is specific for the 3-litre supercharged F-Type with the Overboost and Chill kit. ECU installed back on the car, and now I want to see if it starts up. However, we've still got some engine components missing, sensors, pipes, etc. due to the level 4 Overboost and Chill kit we're installing, so we need to finish that before we can check it starts and runs okay. Let's get on with it. They're shiny. Is that your elbow or the paint? To give this fresh wrap a bit of extra protection and shine, Paul's applying a ceramic coating. And while we're there, we're going to be applying it to the freshly refurbished wheels as well. Alright, now it's time to assemble the front bumper, Project 7 style aftermarket bumper, and it comes with this huge real carbon fibre wraparound front lip that then travels up the side of the wheel arches. We've got this Project 7 style front grille on there as well, which is a nice modification. It kind of deletes the bar that's in the original front bumper, and this one being aftermarket, it's got the provision for front parking sensors as well. I'm going to be popping a badge in there, of course, and we've got some universal mesh for the side vents as well, and we need to install all the wiring and sensors. 2 orange ones, 2 black ones for the front grille, and the washer jet caps as well. I've already installed all the bracketry, etc. to mount it to the car and the washer jets and so on. Oh, and we've got to pop the front bumper under tray on, and we've got to pop the front lip or chin, whatever you want to call it, on the bottom here as well. So lots of things and stuff to do. Let's do that. Them things and that stuff. The stuff and the things. Whatever, let's get on with it. Bumper is finally done, so we've had to screw and bond in the grills and scribe, bond and screw on the splitter and the lower lip. Obviously we've had to wrap it, transfer all the mounting points over, install the under tray, all new stainless steel nuts, bolts and fixings, some of our own brackets, extend wires here, there and mount sensors everywhere. It takes quite a bit of time finessing these things to get them looking nice, and now it's ready to go on. And after that, well, I got another one to do. Oh, the joys. I do like that bumper though. Project 7 style front bumper with a big wraparound carbon lip that goes up and over the wheel arches. Love it. It's a bit of a smiley face, that one. SVR has an aggressive face, that has a smiley face, but it's still super sporty and sort of special looking. Anyways, hopefully Alex has finished the chiller system. It's coming along. There's lots of tanks and pipes and things and stuff. Belt and pulley systems on, the superchargers overhauled, the plastic pipes been updated for metal ones, all sorts. Oh, and the air intake kit, that's going on there as well, where we replace the standard air filters for some open cone air filters to give you some of that supercharger scream that a lot of supercharged car owners seem to love. Okay, all the chiller and mechanical stuff done. Time to refit the bumper, badonka-donka. And we gotta put a bonnet on it, innit? Let's go. It is looking smart, isn't it? So we've custom mounted these rear lights, or custom mounting these rear lights I should say, and we've used a bit of stainless tube bonded in there, but we're actually creating a plinth to sell with the carbon diffuser to make it much easier and quicker to install, whether we're doing it or your guys at home. So I've made a little template basically, and this is just a starting point to a prototype piece that we'll make. We'll probably 3D print these, I reckon, with the aperture to run the wire through the middle for the lights, and some holes for the mounting screws as well. Oh man, she's looking good. She's looking so good. It's going to look better with our stamp on it. Oh yeah, Wraptor baby. Up a bit lower, down a bit higher.
The key for the car was looking a bit tired, so I decided to do something a bit special for the owner. With a brand new key case and a bit of the sunburst orange wrap we used on the outside of the car.
So I've used some of this special knifeless tape, and I've actually done it in 2 halves, so the material ends up more relaxed and it's going to last longer without trying to shrink and wrinkle or anything like that. It should stay like this for a long time now. Matching the car.
Tune in next week to see the finished product and to see it hit the road.
Thanks for watching. Remember to click that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We won't spam you with anything, and it's free of charge, and you get to stay up to date with us and all our car related content. My name's Dud. Thanks for watching. Wraptor Customs.